This tiny little tool can be a game changer when communicating with your stock dog. Hi, I'm Jen, and I've been working dogs for about 30 years now. And today I'm just going to show you part 1 of the series on whistling and how this actual whistle works. So why do you even need a whistle? Well, if the wind is blowing really, really hard, your dog's not going to be able to hear your voice, especially at a distance. Another reason is that we communicate a lot less emotion through our whistle. Now, we can make it really fast or really slow, but in general, it's a lot less emotional. This is really, really helpful to keep your dog calmer, keep them steady, and the commands then are a lot more clear for the dog. So let's jump into the first part, and that is just how the whistle works itself. So the whistle is basically just a folded piece of plastic or metal. This one's actually jade, and it's got a hole in the middle. So this forms a sound chamber. So when you pop it into your mouth, it's going to be placed on the top of your tongue. Okay, so this is your top of your tongue here. It's going to be placed on the top with your mouth enclosing around it. So it sits in your mouth, closing your lips around it, and that's when you can start to learn how to make the sound. For some people this takes quite a while, so I know it took me probably a good month when I was starting, so try it away from your dog. Some people say to try it while you're driving. Wherever it is, it's just going to take some time. Often young kids get this really fast because they're not, I think, nervous about it, not tense, and their jaw's not really tense. So with the whistle itself, if you kind of think of blowing the air in your mouth kind of around the whistle down into it, okay, that's one way to kind of do it, and that can often provide you with the deeper, lower tones as well. Another way of getting some higher pitches with it is if you're kind of thinking of the air blowing up into the whistle. And sometimes that helps just to kind of visualize what you're doing with it. So the sounds, and you don't have to blow super hard. So you want to look for a whistle that kind of fits your mouth well. So I have 4 different kinds here. I've got one with a shape, sort of a little bit of a half moon type of shape with 2 holes in it. I also have a general just plastic one. This was one of the first whistles I ever used, and I used it for a lot of years. They're really inexpensive and they work really good. This is a jade whistle. It's a very nice sound, but not quite as loud as I like. And this is a metal type of aluminum whistle. There's brass, there's all different types of metals. And what's important though is that you try a few so that you can see what is comfortable fit in your mouth and what is easy enough for you to actually make a sound from, because it does change with the different whistles, and some are easier to blow than others. Something else you kind of want to watch for is this thickness piece here. So where the fold kind of is, some are thicker than others, and some people find if it's too thick it's harder to blow. Other people prefer it. So you just have to try some different ones. If you can borrow a few, just boil them up and wash them good and try a few so you can see if you actually like the whistle itself. One recommendation that people have is to try making just some simple sounds to begin with. And we'll talk more about this in part 2. But in general, the shepherd's whistle is a super tool that you really want to get going with your dog. The communication factor just skyrockets when you have a good, strong whistle with your dog and you're consistent with it. So stick around for part 2 and we'll get into actually implementing the whistle with your dog and how to make the actual sounds with it.